Chapter 7 discusses various sensor models for common sensors on board a UAV. So let's go ahead and get started. So as we look at where we're at, we're in Chapter 7, and we're going to be dealing with onboard sensors. So really we're dealing with the small line that the measurements that come from the unmanned vehicle going into the state estimator. Okay, and the sensors that we're going to explore are accelerometers. We're going to look at gyros, pressure sensors, magnetometers, and GPS. And to give you an idea for these sensors, we'll jump over to our simulation, where our simulation has now been augmented with various sensor readings. So, for example, here on our position, I've frozen the sim in one spot. In our position, we can see our northeast and down location of the aircraft. And this pinkish line shows the GPS reading for the aircraft. And one thing you'll note is that the GPS reading has somewhat of a random drift. And so we're going to talk about various aspects of those sensors. We jump in, there's a couple other sensors that correspond directly to states. One is our gyro. So for example, you'll see that we oscillate around the 0 value. And let's actually jump in and command. Let's see, where's my aircraft? Let's command some sort of a rotation, -0.7. And why don't we drop in altitude as well? Okay, so we're going to command that. I'll press go. I'll start to see the aircraft taking a little bit of a nosedive to get to the desired orientation. And we can come in here and we can see the sensor readings now. So we have our GPS up top. We see our gyro down here at the bottom. So this is our gyro reading in the X, Y, and Z axes. We also have an accelerometer, which is going to record our accelerations in our various axes. So for example, for the Z acceleration, we saw a massive jump down into when we dove down. And another thing you'll notice here with the Z acceleration is that now that we've gotten to level flight, it looks like it's at, well, I'll tell you, it looks right around -9.81. So we'll take a look at those things. So we have our accelerations in the various axes. In this case, we have a compass. We're going to talk about a magnetometer. And we have different pressure readings. One, we can get the differential pressure we can use to help us calculate speed, and the absolute pressure we can use to help us calculate altitude. So you see that drop corresponded to our drop in altitude, and we also had a shift in speed if we could jump over here. So we had this big spike in speed, and we saw that in our sensor reading. So our sensors can help us, we'll use the sensor readings to estimate different values for our states. So we'll explore that in detail as we jump into Chapter 7.